Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to another video. The Chaska haul has been completed. All of the parts, well, most of the parts have been put away and or uploaded to the Bricklink store. Most have been ended up putting away into my personal storage. I'll get into that in a minute. But everything has so far been processed, and it has led me down a path to the next project that I think needs to get done. And that is working on some basic bricks. And that has led me to this bin. I'll explain more. But first, a few Bricklink orders. $21.88 going to Wisconsin. Most of that being this Zane minifigure. This also came out of the Chaska haul, so really cool, and some other Ninjago parts. This order is going out to Comet 105 for $9.46. This is Comet's second time through the store, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate you, not only the first order, but coming back. That's super cool. And remember, I don't know if you're a viewer, but if you are a viewer of the channel and you make a Bricklink order, be sure to write something in the message box. Make sure to send a little note along with it letting me know that you're a viewer of the channel, and I will be happy to send you a 15% off coupon for parts for your next time through the store. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and it's on its way. So one thing I want to touch on before we get started, and it's been something that I've thought about for a while in terms of how I process hauls. And I think in an ideal, especially since I finished just doing this like Chaska haul, which was a ton of parts, in an ideal world, I would do a haul, pull minifigure parts, like if it was just like a regular, just, you know, bin of random Lego. I would pull the minifigure parts, I'd probably pull specialty parts and or some sort of valuable parts that are maybe unique, etc. And then what I would do is probably have bins of different parts, right? So 1x plates, 2x plates, large plates, on and on and on. And I would probably throw all of those basic parts into those bins for a future time to then upload giant quantities all at once, rather than processing a haul where I have 30 plates that I, of different colors, and doing all that just to process through the haul. But again, because my studio space is pretty small, I usually end up having to process through an entire haul before I start the next one, if that makes sense. But what I've been discovering is I'm kind of doing that same thing that I would do in an ideal world, but in a very not inefficient, that's the wrong word, very non-scalable way. Let me show you what I mean. So if we come down here, if you've never seen my storage before, these drawers here, and then most of these drawers are all of my personal storage, except for the bottom one. That bottom one is also a Bricklink store. But all of this is like my personal collection. And what I end up doing is, because I have so much of this already organized, what I do is I will kind of get in the habit of, well, I could upload some of these things, but I know that I have all of these like 4x4 plates in here. And so if I get a 4x4 plate, I have some in my store, but more than likely I'm throwing it in this bin if I don't feel like uploading it. It's sort of like my backup option when I start to just get pretty, kind of run through in terms of what I need to upload. But what I'm doing, which is causing a bit of an issue, is I'm taking the pieces that I know I want to upload, or the parts that I don't really have a space for in terms of the color type, and or pieces that I don't think I'm going to need or use which is a lot of reds, yellows, whites. Like, those are just not as common colors I'm going to use in certain pieces or certain part types. And I might regret some of that later. And there's some exceptions. Some of this has gotten fairly not as straightforward over time here. But what I've been doing is sort of getting in the bad habit of just sort of throwing this little container in here and then saving them. And then when this gets full, the idea is that I would do an upload. So that's the first bad habit. I have taken this bad habit and sort of made it worse. This is my brick drawer, and wow, this looks great, right? Browns, these are all 1x2s and greens, blues. Look at these 1x1s. Wow, it's really organized. Here's all my masonry bricks. Wow, so organized. But then you're starting to see some bleed. So this is all this empty gap here that I don't have for storage containers. I've started to throw bricks in. So this is not good. These should be uploaded. I should be getting these into the store, as well as starting to upload some of these that are starting to pile up. I'm not going to use all of this lime green. I should probably start uploading some of that lime green. The blues are also getting a little overflowing. But then it gets even worse. Because if you come down here, this is larger brick. Also, not terrible, right? Decent. Like, I have a fairly good understanding of this, but then it is just, yeah. So this was mostly a result of all of the parts, all of the major bricks left from the Chaska haul. So it hasn't looked like this for a very long time, but this kind of led me down the path that I need to do something with all of these 1x brick. And again, I don't have a ton of space. I don't have a ton of storage, but that needs to go away. This is not good. That needs to get solved. So again, I'm gonna use this bin, and I'm gonna try to find a spot for it back here somewhere. I think, because this is all my Bricklink storage. Here's all my 2x brick, as well as other things, but I think I'm just gonna kind of sneak it back in there. I don't put a lot. I feel like the thing is I don't sell a ton of this. I don't sell a ton of 1x brick. I do sometimes, but not a ton. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to bag up by color and separate by color within smaller bags. So I'll have a gallon-sized bag for the longer bricks, and then I'm just gonna kind of use this bin as my metric. So what I'm gonna start with is putting all the bricks in here that I already have in my store, seeing how full it is, which I'm hoping it's not as full as I think it's going to be, and then just fill it up with the rest of it and just say to myself, okay, this is the limit. This is how much space I am allocating for 1x brick. Is it a perfect system? No. Is it a system that might work? Hopefully. And is it a system that is what I need right now? I think it is. So, you got to work with what you have, and you have to work within the constraints that you have. But I think that'll be a pretty good way to do it. So I'm going to start by getting into my Bricklink store and just moving parts. And that shouldn't take too long. I don't have a ton of 1x brick, so I'm going to start to move and change the location and label this and name this a location. And this will be the basic brick bin. So I'm going to get started doing that right now. All right, I just pulled the black parts, the black bricks. And the other thing that I realized that this is going to be great for is helping to verify inventory, right? Because we all, if you run a Bricklink store, like it's a lot of parts, there's a lot of room for error. And I should also specify this is going to be all used bricks. The new bricks are going to stay in whatever location that they're in. But all the used stuff. So along with this, so this is 22, and it was correct in my Bricklink store, and it was correct in my count. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this opportunity to then go in here and add a few more. This is overflowing. Let's add a few more in here. And yeah, it doesn't hurt. We're doing it. We're moving the stock. May as well just kind of verify and cross-reference and stuff. It's busy work. It's not all. It's productive. It's just not as flashy, I guess, as uploading, higher value parts. But these are all things I think that every Bricklink store owner goes through, and things that are valuable just even in your own inventory. Just, verifying stuff, taking a look, taking stock at what you have, and making some changes. So this is a change that we're going to do, and I think it'll be really good when we're all said and done. I am so glad I did this, because it's actually not that tedious. But it's nice to kind of go back through your inventory and what's been uploaded, and just sometimes get a little bit of a refresh. And honestly, there was I think the white parts and the red bricks were okay, but the yellow were all over the place in terms of location. The counts were generally right, but they were just, I had uploaded these pretty early on when I first started my store. A lot of these bricks were uploaded pretty early on. And so a bunch of space has now gotten cleared out from the drawers, which can be used for smaller parts and just less chunky, big pieces. I mean, bricks just take up a lot of space. And so, yeah, it was good to kind of do a refresher. So these are the main bricks that we have. Very little in black, blue, red. All of this has been recategorized to what I'm calling BB01. Oh, focus, there we go. BB01, basic bricks 01. I can't foresee having a ton of these bins, so, or at least not right now. So this is what I have here. Then there's all of this here, which is this is all I have for tan, and some sand blue. This is all I have for reddish brown currently uploaded, so that could use a little bit more. This is all I have for orange, and then I have these are pretty much all my light pinks, dark purple, lavender, medium lavender. This is all I have for lime green. Dark red, this is all I have for dark red. My dark red goes quickly, so if I have any other dark reds, that I should upload. So magenta and light nougat, bright light yellow, and bright orange. So there's definitely going to be some more of that, but I think a lot of this in here is still going to be mostly reds and yellows. So what I'm discovering from this is I know that I sold a bunch of white bricks. I sold maybe a little bit of red, but honestly what I don't sell a ton of is yellow, which I guess makes sense. I'm trying to think of modern, I feel like even older sets used yellow fairly infrequently, unless they were sets that would just come with a bunch of bricks. I had some old sets that had a few yellow pieces here and there, but I'm trying to think of modern sets that use a lot of yellow, and I can't really think of any. Whereas there's a lot of modern sets that use white. A lot of Star Wars sets use white. I get it. Yeah, I don't think I sell a lot of blue either. I don't know. I could go into Bricklink's database and start to do analytics on how much of this is getting sold. But the reality is this isn't that much more, and this is all of the yellow I have. what I've also been doing is pulling some basic bricks aside. We have a friend who has a little boy who is interested in Lego, and so I have started pulling bags of basic bricks and things from like hauls and stuff that I'm going through and tossing that into bags for him. So I have like 3 full-size gallon bags of basic bricks and like extra pieces that I don't think I'll use. He'll get a bunch of this stuff if there's any more overflow that I'm just like, you know what, I can't dedicate any more space to yellow. Anyway, but I will start to pull out the reds and the whites, and there's some oranges in here. But what's kind of crazy though, and I guess it makes sense, I try not to grab like Lego Friends stuff, and that's where I feel like these colors come in. I don't try to get generally hauls that have that. I feel like I always end up getting more vintagey stuff. So it's kind of crazy that this is all I have for these colors in 1x2 bricks. Pretty wild. But yeah, so all of this is now labeled into BB01. And yeah, we'll get these drawers cleared out. And then once I establish how much I think can go in here, which now looking at this, I feel like quite a bit more, I'm gonna start pulling some other colors that we don't have as well. Like more greens. I don't really have a ton of green in the store. So like, yeah, some greens, some blues. Like I can part with some of this stuff. Like my 1x6 blues are overflowing, and I could, you know, just some of the stuff. Like I want to hold on a lot of 1x2 light bluish gray, but I can do some. I can definitely do some more white 1x2s, and yeah, just start to parse some of this stuff back a bit, and clear out some of the stuff that I don't think I'm gonna need anyway, and get this cleared out, because this is a disaster. Oh my gosh, that is so much better. This drawer is not done yet, but feels really good to have that tidied up. It was just like every time I'd open this drawer, I would just feel this like, you know, and it's getting better now. But yeah, I still got to move some more of these and go through all of the other colors, but that leaves these remaining yellows, these whites to go through and add, reds, and then all the extra colors to add to the store. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, it has been a couple days, and I was just absolutely motoring on this, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about making this adjustment. I think I had been so adamant to add more storage space in terms of just having more, you know, bins and things around, but but I'm so glad that I'm doing this, because this is all of my brick. Now, what this doesn't include, and I think I mentioned this earlier, it doesn't include new bricks, and it doesn't include old gray, old brown, old dark bluish gray. That will all get, because that is just so much less, I have so much less of that stuff, I figured I would just keep them as separate as possible. So this is all just all 1x brick. And it might look kind of crazy, like if someone wants to get these 1x3 yellow bricks, oh man, now I gotta pull all these bags, and well, you know what, I kind of do that already, and it's sort of what I have to work with, but it's organized, I understand it. If someone buys a 1x brick, I know where I'm going for it, and if I use Brick Freedom, I'll be able to pull all of the bricks out of here in one go, if it's like a bunch of different colors or something. But it's not even that full either. I actually had a lot less than I thought, because I actually sold through a bunch of my dark bluish gray brick, and I added a bunch of light gray brick, light bluish gray. So I actually didn't have as much of that as I thought. But I think between all of the brick that I added too, because a bunch of this needed to get added, right? Because if we look down here in the drawers look so much cleaner. There's all the 1x1s. Everything is out of there now. All the loose brick is out of here. And you can see it's parsed back quite a bit. All the colors have been pulled a little bit more. I've left the most of light bluish gray because I feel like that's what I will use most if I'm like mock building and stuff. But in terms of additional bricks and new stuff that I didn't even have in my store, I uploaded maybe another $130 in just bricks, which is crazy. Really crazy. And most of that is stuff I didn't even have in the store. So, one, adds more inventory to the store. Two, you know, added some storage. I feel really good about that. In fact, I feel so good about that I have another bin here. And this bin, I've decided I'm going to do the same thing and stack these on top of each other back there. And this is going to be for 2x plate and larger. Because plate also takes up a lot of room. It's another basic brick I have a ton of. And that's going to save even more space in my drawers. So let's just do it, because then I'll know, you know, I want 1x brick, 2x plate, and larger. It's all going to go right there. That's going to take me a little longer, I think, to inventory all that and to grab. But man, it felt really good to just get this done. These aren't, well, I shouldn't say that. There's some of this that is actually decent value, like in terms of, you know, some of these bricks are like 22, 23 cents a piece. That's pretty amazing. But again, you know, plate and stuff, it's basic items, but if it can free up more drawer space and allow me to really start doing more hauls, that's gonna be great. Because again, like, reason I want to save some more drawer space is because I have a ton, like a lot of these drawers are starting to like overflow a bit. Tiles are okay, but that's a lot of tiles. Like this stuff some of that should definitely get uploaded into the store. I have a bunch of jumpers. Yeah, just some of these drawers are starting to really get a little, like, look at my corner bricks. Like it's mounding. When they start mounding, that's when you know it needs to go. So yeah, there's a bunch more in here that doesn't even exist in my store yet, and I want to have room for. So let's get it up. So I'm so happy with this experiment. And granted, I haven't pulled anything from here yet, but I know exactly what's in here, right? Like, this isn't just a bag of random parts. These are all 1x bricks, and they're all, you know, this is all blue. If someone orders a blue brick, I grab the blue bag, right? And they're all individually bagged inside of there. It shouldn't be too bad. I'm not super worried about it. So, onto the plate next. As you can see, I am having the same malady here with plates as I was with bricks. I also, if you remember a while back, I made a video of a haul that I picked up, and it had an enormous amount of 2x6 reddish brown plate. Enormous. I have a ton in my store, and this is still like extras. So this is all gonna get probably uploaded. This is all extra that's gonna get uploaded. That's just sitting in here. So we're gonna clear some of this out, and start to empty some of these, because yeah, getting very full. Getting very, very full, and it needs an upgrade. I just finished the black. Looks so much cleaner now. So the black bag is in there. I think I'm going to just start with the 2x plate and then see where we end up. Perfect fit. I mean, there's some dead space in there, but that is all of the 2x plate. I just powered that, my friends, so hard. I was in a zone, and I didn't stop once. I was in a zone. I was pulling everything out. By doing this, I have freed so much space in the drawers back there, and it's very exciting. I don't have a lot more room for more plates, for more 2x plates, and there's no way I'm fitting any other size plate in here, so that's okay. This is, let's just keep, I think if I'm going to do this type of a system, it's better to keep it simple anyway. 1x bricks, boom, they're all in there. 2x plates, boom, they're all in here. And it feels really good. It is cleared. I mean, these drawers, look at this. No more rogue plates. Everything has been pared back a bit. It's a lot cleaner in my personal inventory now. And the same with the 1x brick. Much better. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is, it's really gotten me inspired. So the next task is to do the 1x plates. This is gonna be a little bit easier in terms of, like, I don't have to create a new storage system. Most of this stuff has a place already, but I just need to, like, pare back some of this stuff. It's just, again, another drawer that is starting to mound. Everything is starting to get a little full. When it gets full, it should start to go into the store. And now that I have a little more room, I feel even better. It's so exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of all this. I think the biggest hurdle that I currently have with the store is just the time and energy it takes to pull parts out. Like, because now with this bucket system and the bags in the bucket and them kind of being further away, it's just going to slow down. It gives me more space. It organizes things in a better way, kind of, but then it also slows me down when pulling, right? So let's say I need a 1x4 white brick from my inventory if I'm, like, putting a set back together. It would make a lot more sense to just have more space in my personal inventory for all the colors, which I probably could do. I could probably start to do that again. I was kind of using my personal inventory for more stuff that I think I would use, but I haven't actually, like, built anything. Like, I keep talking about building stuff, but then, like, more projects just keep falling onto my plate, and I'm really enjoying the Bricklink stuff. I'm really enjoying the processing, the organizing. Like, that kind of stuff is just tickles my brain, and so I'm enjoying that aspect of it. So I don't know, like, maybe I should have more space to have every kind of piece that I might need rather than having to pull it from my store. The nice thing is to be able to look it up and pull from your store. It's actually helped me a few times, but I don't know. I'm rambling now, and I think I've lost the plot. Anyway, I am very happy with what I've done here tonight. It's very late. Again, I feel like that's a common thread. I'm always, like, saying something weird or rambling, and then I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it's late, I should probably go to bed. But, that's just part of it. Anyway, yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm really, really stoked. Let me know what you think below in the comments. I think it'll be really, really good, and it just is freeing up so much space in the drawers. And it makes me excited to get more parts in the store and process the next haul, the next bits, because there's tons left to do. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I really do appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But remember, until then, keep on building. Jim out.